Welcome to episode 253 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I am Ben Briggs. It is, it's Saturday's episode, people. Come on. You know me now. It's Saturday's episode, but it is Sunday, people. Sunday the 1st. Holy fucking shit. The 1st of January, 2023. It's the first episode of the new year, people. I know I was meant to be doing an episode yesterday, but I had a gig last night. I was going to do it when I got back from the gig last night, but unfortunately, I couldn't do it. So here, you got it today, people. You got it today. That's all I can say. All I can do is apologise. Start as you mean to go on, Ben, in the new year by falling behind with your podcast. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Why wouldn't you want to carry on the same traditions that have kept this podcast going for 253 episodes? And also, I got the episode right this time. I got it wrong last time. I know. People have told me that. You got the episode number. I know. I fucking got the episode number wrong. Yeah. But sometimes, sometimes you just got to be easy about stuff, haven't you? Anyway, Happy New Year to all you motherfuckers out there. I hope you had a good one. I was at a gig last night, so I haven't done a New Year's Eve gig in fucking ages. And, fucking hell, I got a bit of a cold as well. And that was all right. I was in Leicester. I got there early. It was a sold-out gig. There was about, 120, I think it holds, something like that, about 120 there. Downstairs at the Big Difference. It's a fucking great venue for comedy, for cholera as well, I suppose. I don't know what that fucking means. It's a great venue for comedy. Downstairs, basement, low ceiling, dark. It's what you need. So I got there. The lineup was good. I was on in the middle, just doing a middle spot, which was lovely. To be fair, I thought when I turned up at Leicester, I parked up at the top of the high street. The venue's on the high street, and they got a car park right at the top, which is a bit of a shit fest because they fucking rape you, pull your pants down to park there. I don't know. I think it cost me about fucking 13 quid for about 2 hours or something. It's fucking ridiculous. I parked at the top there, got out the car park. There's a massive fucking Ferris wheel at the top of the high street. It's rammed because obviously it's New Year's Eve, full of New Year revelers, reveling in the fact that the old year is going out and the new year is coming in. And got to the venue early. It was already busy in the venue. And... but I was like the first act to get there. I fucking like getting there early, man. There's some, I don't know. There's a psychological thing about getting to a venue early. And it just feels like it's like your venue. You know what I mean? It feels like you've already claimed that space. And anybody who comes into that, I know this sounds fucked up and weird, but it works for me, people. All right? It works for me. So got there early. The other acts started turning up. Compare turned up and the first act turned up. They did really well. I obviously had a bit of time to kick my heels and shit like that. And the audience were just fucking fantastic. Nobody really pissed. To be fair, there was a young couple who were quite pissed who moved to the front just before I went on. And but they were like pissed to the stage of not really being able to say anything, so they weren't they weren't any fucking hassle whatsoever. But it was busy. It reminds me why I never go out on New Year's Eve, like celebrating New Year's Eve. You know, just people everywhere, fucking drunk people in the streets, fucking groups of people. I know it seems a weird thing doing stand-up and you don't really like being around people, but hey, that's me, innit? That's me. You just got to be who you are. And then on the way home, let's have a little bit of tea. I'm going to need it for this. On the way home, I got caught in a fucking traffic jam. 6.5 miles from fucking home. Somebody decides to fucking crash on New Year's. Happy New Year. Stretch it out. Crash on the fucking M1. So I was stuck in that traffic for about an hour and a half. And I genuinely thought I'd be celebrating the dread that come over me. And it wasn't the dread of like feeling like a fucking loser sitting in your car stuck behind a fucking van on New Year's Eve celebrating the new year, sitting in your car in a fucking traffic jam. It wasn't the dread of that. Although, in hindsight now I think about it, that is a fucking sad way to see in the new year. Well, it could have been worse, Ben. You could have been the person in the accident. I know that, but I fucking wasn't. Fuck them. Anyway, for holding me up. But the absolute dread when it dawned upon me that people might actually want to celebrate the new year coming in whilst they're sat in a knock on people's windows and that sort of thing, and everybody gets out and I'm the only one still sitting in my car just fuming. It was just the dread of that, being roped into some public display of celebration. I was just like, oh, fucking hell. And then you're the only one who doesn't get out the car because you don't want to be fucking associated with people who you're never going to see again. And they're posting it, no doubt, all over social media. Had great celebrations on the M1 during a traffic jam when the new year hit, and there's just a picture of me sitting in my car in the background on my own. Because I don't want to talk to anybody. Jesus. Yeah, so that was... there's always as well, there's always the people who get out of their cars. I don't know why I don't know what they expect to see. They get out the cars... One does it, and then a few more will do it, and they get out the car and they start walking towards the front of the queue. Just, trying to have... I don't know what they're looking for. What do you want to see? Do you want to see a dead body? Do you want to ask like somebody who's like giving mouth to mouth and chest compressions to somebody on the floor? Are you going to be long because I've got to get somewhere? Yeah, it's New Year's Eve. Nobody wants to be stuck on the motorway on New Year's Eve. But yeah, there was whole families of people getting out and walking to the front. Oh, we need to know what's going on. The only good thing about those events happening are people getting out of their car and walking to the front of the queue. The only good things about that is when the queue starts moving and you see them sprinting back to their cars like they're in Le Mans, like the start of the race at old style Le Mans. You see, there was a guy who got out, and he must have been about 20 stone. He was fucking huge. I don't know why he got out of his car. Maybe he was like fucking looking for truffles or something. I have no idea. But to see him trying to sprint back made the hour and a half wait that I spent in my car well worth it. Just the fear on his face. He'd come too far, man. It'd gone too far. He was never going to make it back by the time the queue got back to his car. He was a couple of cars, a good few cars behind me, and I started moving when he was running towards me. You're holding everybody up now, ain't you, you nosy fucker? What do you think? They were giving out free fucking Mars bars at the front, Chubbs? Huh? Is that what you thought? I don't know, people. I don't know. It's just the image. There's sort of like fear on his face, and he was not trained. He had let his body go. He was not trained to be in that situation where he had to make 100 meters sprint in record-breaking time. He'd have had to do it in about 8 seconds by the time, because the queue started just moving quick. It He'd have had to Usain Bolt it, and he was not built for that, people. Downhill, maybe. Downhill, just with the force of gravity, but unfortunately we were on a flat. But yeah, the people who get out and look, there's definitely two distinct types of people in that situation. The people who just wait in their car fucking fuming and brooding, and the people who want to make friends on a motorway. They start gathering around and chatting, offering each other sweets. What the fuck are you doing? The only thing you've got in common is the fact that you were heading in the same direction and it abruptly came to a halt. That's all you've got in common. Why are you trying to make friends during a fucking accident on the motorway? I don't know, man. Hey, Ben, people just want to make friends, Ben. Well, do they? Well, they'll learn. They'll fucking learn. Let's have a little bit of tea. So that was my New Year's Eve. I got back at 11:45, by the way. Just fucking dipped in there. Just fucking leant forward, dipped in, got back, had a cup of tea, and saw the new year in with a cup of tea. I watched the fireworks. They always show the fireworks in London, don't they? That looks awful as well. Anybody who goes down to see the fireworks in London, it's like, I don't know, man. It's like the idea of going to a festival now for me. Like, I think you have to pay for tickets to go to see the fireworks in London. You queue up. The fireworks take about 15, 20 minutes like that. And then you've got like an hour and a half, 2 hours to fucking funnel your way out because you've got to walk at the slowest pace of the slowest person, haven't you? There's always some fucking slow person just fucking holding everybody up. I just don't understand it. Even watching it on TV, I got bored after about 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, that's great. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Okay, I'm getting bored now. They're all pretty much the same. It's lights in the sky. Come on. Do people complain, by the way, about New Year's Eve fireworks going off? There always seems to be a big thing on Guy Fawkes night about on fireworks night, bonfire night, Guy Fawkes night. It's all the same thing, isn't it? There always seems to be big complaints about people complaining about their pets and shit and fucking, guys in the army getting flashbacks to being fucking stuck in a foxhole with Charlie coming down on them. And there didn't seem to be that many sort of like things I saw. Maybe it's a different, maybe it's got a more of a privileged place in our hearts, New Year's Eve, than fireworks night. I'm not sure, but there didn't seem to be as many people, Obviously, if you seek it out on Twitter, my dog was fucking cowering under the sofa. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what you can do with that. Put some fucking earmuffs on it, wrap it in fucking bubble wrap. I don't know. Hold it. Give it a few sedatives. Knock it out. Give it a few lines of Charlie. Give it a bit of fentanyl. I don't know. It'll knock it out for a little bit. Stop it shivering and shaking and shit like that. I don't know. I imagine it's a big issue. But it just didn't seem to be... people didn't seem to be as sort of... as on it as they usually are. But anyway, that was my New Year's Eve. And then I couldn't tolerate it. Every fucking New Year's Eve, they drag out Jules Holland, don't they, to do his thing with, like, fucking... surely we can have something other than Jules Holland on New Year's Eve, can we? Can we have something else, maybe? Hey, I like Jules Holland. Oh, all right, okay. But can we not have, all right, mate, we know you can play the piano like a fucking, jazz pianist or whatever you are. A little bit of bluegrass playing it or whatever you're doing. I don't know. I don't know what he does. But it all just sounds the fab. Blink, 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 blink. It all sounds as fucking sad. Come on, Jules, mix it up a little bit, yeah? And he has various people on different stages, and they drag him out he's got the market cornered. He's like Lenny Henry on fucking Comic Relief. He's got the fucking market cornered. Drag that out every fucking 4 years or whatever. I don't know. One thing I have noticed, I've never noticed, also New Year's Eve, whenever I used to go out celebrating New Year's Eve, it was never really that great. You know? It was never fantastic. They sell you the dream for New Year's Eve. That's what they do. They sell you the fucking dream that it's going to be amazing. You've seen it in all these films where, like, fucking, you know, the romantic couple fucking meet New Year's Eve or whatever. It's like When Harry Met Sally has got a lot to fucking answer for, hasn't it? When it comes to that. You know, the whole New Year's Eve experience has always been very, very overrated. That, you know, maybe it was just me. I never really, you know, got that whole thing about, like, you know, me kissing a fucking stranger. This beautiful woman's going to come up to you and kiss you, and fucking it's going to be amazing, and we're going to start our lives together right now for the rest of the year. It's pretty much like always been countdown, the fucking 12 bongs, look at my watch. Okay, anybody else want to go home yet? I'm a little bit pissed now. Can I go home, please? That's always been my New Year's Eve experience when I've been out. Although I haven't been out for fucking years, to be perfectly honest. But it's like, the thing is, though, then it's all over as well. That's the thing, isn't it? Like today, everything's over. You might as well just pack up the fucking tree. What have we got? 5 days left, because you've got to take that down because of that old wives' tale that if you leave your Christmas tree up 5 days after fucking New Year's or something, isn't it meant to be unlucky? And then you're going to have, like, you know, maybe I just haven't got time to take the tree down. Is it all right to give me a few extra days? It does feel bare, though, doesn't it? As soon as the tree goes down, everything starts, you know, it feels a little bit bare. So I'm thinking this year I'd put up some fucking lights, warm light fucking string lights. There's some behind me, but like I've got some over the other side of the room as well. I'm going to keep them up all year. Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing, people. This is, you know, you don't just get rants on this about fucking New Year's Eve, people. You get a bit of home decor information as well. Let's have some more tea. Nice long break for you there. Yeah, so that was my New Year's Eve. Was I think I spent about the same amount of time stuck in that traffic jam as I did at the actual gig. The gig was lovely, by the way. Gig went well. It's always it's a fucking lovely venue, that is. I really love it. I'm doing my Leicester show there in February, as I have done for the last, I don't know, however long, 10 years, I think. I've been doing my Leicester show there every year. Oh no! So I'm doing an hour show there on the 26th of Feb. So that should be all right. We should see anyway. It's more of a work in progressy thing, because I'm looking to record it like later on in the year, but we shall see. But the gig went well. It was really good fun, straight from the off. The audience were really lovely, and I had a lot of fun, which is, you know, I was expecting there to be fucking pissed up idiots in the audience, and it was mainly couples, to be perfectly honest. I think anyone going to a comedy club on New Year's Eve is going to be mainly couples, because anyone who's, you know, groups of lads and that sort of thing, they're out looking for groups of girls, aren't they? That's what they want on That's all they want on New Year's Eve, isn't it? Groups of lads are never going to go to a comedy club unless they're following in a group of girls. All the lads are out there. It's fantastic watching it. Just watching people walking around Leicester. You've got women in the skimpiest fucking dresses ever. You'd think it was like, you know, Love Island or one of those sort of programs. Not that I watch Love Island. I don't know if you've, but I'm aware of it. I'm aware of, you'd think it was Malaga in the summer by what they're wearing, the fucking dresses. Maybe I'm just getting old and looking at like 20-year-old women walking down the street. All I was thinking was, fucking hell, they're going to be cold. They must be fucking freezing. So I'm wrapped up in a fucking coat. Oh, yeah, that's what we do at 40. In our 40s, I should say. Yeah, and all the lads sort of like following them around in just shirts, jeans, groups of fucking lads following around groups of women. Is that ever going to stop? That's never going to stop, is it? That will go on for time immemorial. Groups of lads just going where all the nice, hot women are, young lads. And fair play to them. Get out there, lads. Go on. Come back in 20 years and tell me how it worked out for you. Anyway, let's move on from that. It's just interesting I was outside, like vaping outside the venue. I love listening. Like I always stand away from the people outside who are the punters, and I stand, but you can still listen to them, and it was fucking interesting just listening to some of the conversations they were having about where they were going and who's having problems with who. It's fucking great. Dear. Anyway, one of the phenomenons that seems to be sweeping social media every year now. I don't know when this originated either. Everybody's doing their end of year reviews, aren't they? They're fucking, I don't know. Like they're a fucking TV program, like a news program roundup of what's in their lives. Can there be anything more self-congratulatory than that? I don't know. I'm not sure, people. I mean, fair play. People want to, hey, man, I know exactly what, because I work in the entertainment industry, I'll stretch that entertainment. Yeah, well, at times it's an endurance for the audience with me. I know this. I know that, right? But because I work in like the entertainment industry, I know what they're doing, right? I know what they're doing. They're basically, people sort of like do a list of their achievements, what they've achieved and things like that. And basically it's just a way of like hooking in for gigs. Really. I've never felt the need to do an end of year review, probably because I haven't really achieved that much year on year. But everybody seems, like even my friends who aren't like stand-ups and that, like do an end of year review. I don't know, it just seems like an appraisal of your life. I know it seems, I don't know, just something just doesn't sit right with me. Maybe it's, the old British stiff upper lip and that. Don't say about your achievements, or don't get too cocky about stuff and that. But it just seems that if you have to talk about it, it doesn't really mean anything. It seems like they're doing it more for themselves rather than other people, but also to, try and garner more prestige with what they've done in the year. But it's a definite trend that's, I take great pride in the fact that I read all of them. And fucking judge the bastards for it as well. But nobody goes sort of like, oh, I haven't really progressed at all, really, this year. That would be an honest, I would like to read that, an honest appraisal. My relationship status is non-existent, and I've barely progressed within my career. I've contemplated suicide on 6 or 7 occasions this year, but I haven't done it yet. So anyway, Happy New Year. That's the sort of fucking update on Facebook or social media that I want to see, people. I want to see people being a bit more honest. Surely it's all got to implode at some point, hasn't it? When you go on social media and everyone's doing fucking amazing and everyone's doing fucking fantastic. Everyone's trying to be an influencer. That's a weird term that's only become prevalent in the last few years, isn't it? Influencers. I don't know what they're influencing. People. They're influencing other people to take pictures of their fucking dinner or record when they go out. Everything, you know, it's a castle built on sand, people. That's what I'm saying. It's all got to implode sometimes, hasn't it? Surely somebody's out there just giving like a reasonable assessment of their lives. Or, I don't know, man. I don't know. What are we on? 26 minutes. Shit. I had the decorator come around the other day, by the way. Oh, yes. Decorating's been done. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can probably see the decorating's been done. I've had like a brick fucking pattern of wallpaper done behind me. That's my review of the year, people. Here's my review. Well, what did you do this year, Ben? I got a more manly man than me to come round and decorate my fucking wall because I lost my temper whilst trying to decorate it myself. That's my review. That's it. My review of the year, what was it? I lived in hotels for a bit. I managed to buy my own place again. And then I got somebody around to do the wallpapering. That's my review of the year. Next year, there'll be no stopping me. I may even paint my own skirting boards next year. I mean, this year. Sorry. This year. That's the other thing, isn't it? 2023, I'm going to still be writing 2022 until fucking March. Because for some reason, my brain can't fucking handle the fact that the year's changed, so it's about 3 months behind. I don't know. It was, 2022 was all right, I think, for me. I got working for a few more clubs. I lost a couple of clubs as well. Let's not talk about that. I mean, everything evens itself out, doesn't it? It's yin-yang, isn't it? Some clubs you lose, some start booking you. And I look forward to losing those bookings in about 10 years' time too. And hopefully people keep setting up gigs so I can still keep working. I'm going to be... There's a few bits I want to do. Obviously, I'm going to keep the podcast going. I'm going to start recording more material and releasing those in little snippets. That'll be on my Facebook, Instagram, and what's the other one? Fucking TikTok. I've joined that cunt as well. Jesus. Yeah, I'm on there. I haven't put any videos up yet. It all just seems to be videos of fucking people dancing or people. There's an awful lot. I can see why comedians do it because they don't want to put up material because they think that material's then burnt. But I don't think it really is, to be honest. There's that much shit out there. I've done 2 shows back to back before, and a guy's been in the audience both times and come up to me and said, "Hey, why didn't you do that material in the first gig that you did?" And I was like, I fucking did, mate. You must have switched off for about 5 minutes. I did exactly the same material in both gigs. He'd bought tickets for both the early and the late show. Usually they exchange the audience. It's a different audience. So I don't know about burning material online. I don't really think it really matters that much, to be perfectly honest. Unless you're releasing like a Netflix special or something like that, millions of people are going to see it. I don't think it really matters that much. But I'm going to be doing more of that. I'm going to be doing a few other bits and bobs as well. Now we've got the studio properly up and running. Everything's up, people. Have a fucking gander behind me. Everything's up. So yeah. So we're ready to kick it off for 2023. 2023. Anyway, I hope you all had a good new year. There's me going on about myself. Hey guys, how have you been? Yeah, I hope you had a good new year, and it continues to go well for you. That's the other thing, isn't it? You know, it's all well and good having a good start to the year, but if you don't make it through till the next year, you know, you've had a bit of a shocker. You could be smashing the shit out of whatever you're doing for the next 10 months. And then, you know, there's a storm, tree falls on your car. See you later. So that's my one resolution for this year, is to make it through till next year. It should be everybody's every year, I think. Should be to make it through, which will I shall endeavour to do, and you should too, people. There we go. Anyway, that is episode 253 of the Ben Briggs podcast. I will, I genuinely hope you had a nice new year. And if you are going back to work, all the best with that. It's fucking shockingly shit, isn't it? Shockingly shit. Anyway, have a good rest of your weekend, motherfuckers. Enjoy your New Year's Day, and I shall speak to you on Tuesday. Take care.